In this session, we will talk about PPC strategies for Amazon FBA product variations. Namely, you will learn how to allocate spend and expectations properly for your variation listings. And our guest today will be Lucas Gwatowski from Nomads. He helps large Amazon sellers with different PPC strategies, and he sets up for them PPC campaigns that makes their brands grow. And this session is part of a Seller Fest online virtual event, which is sponsored by 3 companies. It's a Carbon 6, which is a suite of tools that makes it simple to optimize and streamline every aspect of Amazon business. Check the link below in the description to see what tools they offer. And another company which is sponsoring the session is Getida. They are Amazon FBA auditing company, and they help sellers of any size to maximize the FBA reimbursements. The offer and link below in the description. Finally, last but not least, Quartile is also supporting this session, and they are AI-powered automation advertising optimization platform which helps sellers and brand owners to maximize their potential in e-commerce. And again, the link to Quartile and their offer you will find below in the description. And during this session, if you enjoy the content and you find it useful, don't forget to click and subscribe below this video. And this session I'm hosting together with Lisette. Hi, Lisette.
Hi, Augustus. Happy to be back here with you to host another awesome session. And I'm also excited to invite Lucas here, who is our today's guest. And Lucas will teach us something about how to better advertise when you have variations in your listing. So, hi, Lucas. Before we go to your presentation, could you first introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your background?
Yeah. Hey, Lisa and Augustus. It's great to be back. Right, I'm Lucas Gwatowski, and I run Nomads. So we are a hands-on PPC agency. So what I like to tell people is that I've found other PPC experts we're all doing it with other small companies, and now we've all come under one roof. So we've all got a lot of experience strictly with PPC, and we deal with a lot of bigger brands, kind of helping them get past sales plateaus and deal with more advanced issues like PPC for variations. All right, so we are gonna jump right in here, and it's PPC for variations. So why I'm covering this is because, I do a lot of YouTube videos. If you guys don't know me, that's where I put out a lot of my content is on YouTube. And with all of our clients, with all of the comments I get on there, with a lot of the talks, everyone is always asking about variations. They ask, should I have them? Should I not have them? Should I advertise them? What child ASIN should I have together? So I never get any, kickback when I talk about variations because there's always so much to say about it. And I can tell now that when I was making this presentation, I was clearly very hungry because I went with 2 food examples. So I wanted to find 2 examples where the variations look different. And that's why I chose this Doritos one that has maybe 9 variations. It's kind of very clean. You can just choose the type. And then this other Lavazza coffee example where there's way more variations. There's 2 options, and you can see a lot more options there. So, and right away, this is one of the biggest questions with variations. Should you have them? So yes, you should. Especially if you're just launching, the reason you want variations, we all know this, is they're sharing reviews most of the time, right? I know sometimes when you click from each child ASIN, they might have their own reviews, but they're all under one roof. Better customer shopping experience. This is what I say to a lot of my smaller sellers is if you're selling coffee and you have 3 separate coffee listings, customers are going to have a very hard time finding those listings. So if they don't want one flavor of your coffee and they don't see the flavor that they want on that page, they're going to click away to another competitor, and all of a sudden you've lost that customer. So you want to keep that customer on that page. That's why variations are so great, because it's a better shopping experience, higher conversions, better branding. All of this, again, it's like if you go into a grocery store aisle, you see all of the same brands on the same shelf because they're all next to each other. It makes your brand look stronger. Now, on the other side, standalone listings, which is what we're calling, no variations. You get more coverage and more impressions, because if you have a campaign running, you can actually only show up for the top of placement for one keyword for one variation. So if you have, 10 different variations all on one page, only one of those is going to show up in a ranking for a specific keyword. So that's why sometimes people split them, is because all of a sudden, if you have 3 different listings that are all bidding on the same keyword, they can essentially all rank at the top of the page. Now, those do need more defensive ads, and that's what I was talking about. If someone doesn't like one of your flavors of coffee, you have to kind of bid on your own listing to defend that with your other ones to make sure people are seeing that. But there is more control because they're all separate. You can say, okay, if one has bad reviews, you can kind of let that one go. If one has good reviews, you can push it, but more spend to launch. So that's what we say when you're launching. If you're launching, try to combine these together. What a lot of people do is they'll start with variation listings, combine them all together. Once they get enough traction, they'll kind of split them apart. All right, so that's what we say. If possible, you want to split them once you gain traction, but going past the point of no return, which is what I want to talk about. So it's really more about how variations are laid out. So you need to know that on your listing, food or maybe health and beauty or clothing. Clothing is a really big one with variations. Always check and see what it looks like. So here, this kind of layout of this variation is very, very clean. I know right away, okay, I can get Doritos variety, I can get Flamin' Hot, I can get ranch. It's all on the page. What we see sometimes are drop-down menus. I'm sure some of you guys have seen these, where you can see, okay, you need to actually click a little button to see all of the variations. And that's what I'm calling the point of no return. Because this right here, this listing will convert very well. People can see the title, they can see the variation they want. Once you get too many variations in a listing, conversion can drop because there's too many options. Right? Again, think about going to a grocery store. If you have way too many options for one thing, you get overwhelmed. You want just the right amount of variations. And this is just kind of, these go alphabetically. So a lot of people, you can kind of influence that and name your variations what you want, right? So ranch is obviously down at the bottom. If you have a really good variation, you can maybe think of a different name and put it in front of the alphabet. Now we're going to jump into spend a little bit. Okay. So staying with this Doritos listing, right? And they have a bunch of different flavors. And we were talking about this listing here with the 35,000 reviews. Now, what we see is when we type in Doritos, the bestseller showed up on the keyword Doritos because it's the bestseller. So this right away is what I find myself repeating to clients over and over and over. They'll have this listing with 9 variations. They will have their bestseller doing most of the traffic. And then they will ask me, why aren't our other variations spending enough money? And every single time when we go down that rabbit hole and start spending too much on every single ASIN, every single child ASIN, it cannibalizes the bestseller. So they'll come to me and say, hey, why aren't my spicy Doritos ranking on the word Doritos, right? And I say, if we do that, we are taking traffic away from the bestseller. That's the last thing you want to do. It's the bestseller for a reason, okay? So you do want to advertise all of your listings, all of your child ASIN, but you don't want to go crazy with it because you want to keep the bestseller the bestseller. That's the whole child ASIN that's bringing up the rest of the listing. So when I typed in spicy Doritos, okay, so I typed in spicy Doritos. These are the ads that came up on the top of the page. These are the organic listings, okay? Boom. Right off the bat, we are ranking first organically for spicy Doritos with our spicy Doritos variation. but they are advertising their plain Dorito listing on the spicy word. So this is the question that people ask a lot is, hey, I'm ranking for this word, but should I advertise the same spicy one, or should I advertise another variation? Now, this is why you want variations, because regardless of what ad these customers click on, once they get to that page, they're going to see both of these. So a little bit of this is and actually a lot of this is kind of consumer psychology, because you say, okay, someone went into Amazon and typed in spicy Doritos. They want spicy, but all of a sudden they see the generic listing. They see this one with the plain flavors. They're like, oh man, I love those flavors. So they click on it. Maybe they add this to cart, but then when they're on that listing, they say, oh wait, they have the spicy Doritos right in this variation listing. I'm going to add those to cart too. So this is where variations really start to work off of each other, and also why you see it's messy with attribution, because you're going to get a click for this plain one, but they might end up buying this spicy one. So what we say a lot of the time is you don't want to cannibalize, but nothing's going to be perfect. So in your mind, you need to think, okay, I need to drive people to my page. I need to get them on this page with 35,000 reviews. If they click on variation A, B, or C, that's fine. If they're getting to that page, that's what's most important. And then think about this. Maybe, you know what we've done a couple times, maybe ask a random poll. Like take this screenshot, you can do like online polls of audiences and say, hey, if you were buying spicy Doritos, would you be okay with seeing this listing at the top of the page instead of the spicy one? That's exactly it, is you need to get inside of the customer's head. And now we're going to talk a little bit about the kind of structure of PPC. Once you realize what you want, it's very simple. And this is just how I think of it as a small funnel here. Your top keywords with your bestseller and exact match. That is the most important thing in a variation listing. The word Doritos, the word chips. If you're bidding on the word chips and you sell Doritos, you only want to use your best seller. It has the highest conversion rate. It has the highest click-through rate. We always tell people is if you're bidding on non-branded keywords that you're trying to rank for, only use your best seller. And then below that is other campaigns, top keywords with descriptors, right? Spicy Doritos, Cool Ranch Doritos, different flavors, like for clothing, right? You think of it as red shirt, blue shirt, green shirt. That's when you only advertise your other ones in exact match with the descriptor keywords, right? So now I want to jump into another example, and I'm also going to do another example with clothing to hopefully kind of hit this home a little more. I think clothing is actually the best example, but with coffee, I want to see if I can actually open this up here. So I do want to hop on actually Amazon itself. This always paints a clearer picture. So this is the coffee listing, and you guys have all seen this before. So many options, okay? There are all these different flavors. There are all these different sizes. This is a little overwhelming for a customer, right? They see all of this. They don't really know what to choose. So defense still matters. When I'm on that Lavazza listing and I am going to, and I'm scrolling down the categories and I see frequently bought together. I see frequently bought together with their other listings. So that's the most important thing too. And they're bidding on their own listing with another listing with few reviews. You see sponsored right here. You see only their brand. So this is something you can't forget. Even if you have variation listings, you need to protect them. And more importantly, you need to protect all of your listings. So I'm on their bestseller right now. They are defending their bestseller with so many ads. I see Lavazza, I see Lavazza, I see Lavazza. Now, don't forget this. If I click onto another flavor, things change. So this ad changed a little bit, right? If I click onto another flavor, I'm trying to find one that doesn't have a listing. right? So now Amazon Fresh pops up. So that's a really good thing. If you're looking to take down notes, this is a very, very good point. If you're defending your listing, remember to defend all of your child ASIN. And that's what I'm saying. Take all of your child ASIN and bid on them with your other ASIN. Don't just bid on your bestseller, okay? Because the layout changes based on which one you have selected, okay? So that was really the only thing I wanted to touch on from that. Now, okay, right. So this is where I found an example. They have one of their variations up, and I clicked on it, and then all of a sudden, all of their defensive ads went away. So if you guys have a large catalog, go through and double check your listings to see if you're actually bidding on them. Now, this is more of getting into the meat of the PPC, right? Probably what you want to see here now that we've covered kind of the psychology of the variations. So when we are setting up PPC for variation listings, you got to keep it very, very clean. One ASIN per ad group or campaign, okay? Keep the ASINs separated. Now, use seed list of keywords for bestseller. Let's go to the coffee example, right? So if I'm launching a new coffee listing and I want to rank on coffee keywords, I'm going to take my most popular flavor, my most popular size of coffee, and bid on the words coffee, Italian coffee, ground coffee, an exact match. Those 3 keywords with my bestseller. Then I'm going to set up another campaign or another ad group. Now, we prefer campaigns because you have budget, you have placement stats. So I'll say that right now too, is we're getting away from multiple ad groups and campaigns. You lose a lot of control. So I now have my exact match bestseller set up. Now I have my light coffee, my light roast. It's not as popular. It doesn't convert as well, but people still want to search for light coffee. So I set up a completely different campaign with just my light coffee. And I bid on exactly those words: light coffee, light Italian coffee, light ground coffee. You build that seed keyword list of the highest volume words and then add in your descriptor words. If I have an espresso listing, I would just replace the word light with espresso. Boom, done. So you can see how like a clothing example works well with this. If you putting on the word shirt, bid on your most popular shirt and then add in red, blue, green. And the red, blue, green, you're not going to bid on them for the high volume keywords because they're not going to convert as well. So you want to keep the bestseller getting the most impressions and being the workhorse for the rest of the listing. Okay, so you make kind of a funnel of phrases that match each listing. Start with those seed lists, right? Coffee, ground coffee, boom. Don't advertise all of your ASINs on those high volume keywords. Advertise your bestseller, let that do the work. And then you kind of go down the funnel and just switch those for whatever variations you want. Keep those separate. And still, we set up these campaigns. We set up this light coffee campaign. And owners come to us and say, hey, why aren't we spending enough on light coffee? Let's rank it on more keywords. And again, we will say, no, it's going to cannibalize our best seller. So that's when we really see tacos start to go up, is when we spend too much and spread the ad spend too thin across a listing. Okay. Keep it into the bestseller. Let the other ones spend on their descriptor words, but not too much. Okay. So now shirts, I want to do a shirts example. And that I think just doing different examples for this really hits it home and gets those talking points across. So with shirts, we have plenty of clothing brands that we work with. And there's a bit of a kind of process we go through here. This is I think it's like an Under Armour shirt listing. Right away, if I were to take on this brand, I would say, okay, they have 16 different colors, but 5 of them are blue. So 5 of them are technically blue. If you have another variation listing and you're looking to spend more, that's what people always want to do. They have variations. They're like, hey, we need to spend more on these, right? Let's spend more. So I say, okay, instead of bidding on blue shirts for this listing in one campaign, blue shirts for this listing in one campaign, blue shirts for these two, right? Look for groupings in your listing. So if you have over 10 variations, if you have 20 variations, some of them are going to start to rank on the same keywords, whether that's flavor, scent, color, size. Okay. So what we'll do is we'll say, okay, all of these are blue. Let's put these 5 shirts into a blue campaign. Right away, people say, okay, what sizes do you do? Well, for blue shirts, medium and large are the most common. So we will take our medium and blue large shirts and bid on the word men's blue shirts for men, blue polo shirts for men, any word with the word blue. Now we have 5 variations in there, or 5 colors. So we can say, okay, now we can actually tell which blue shirt is the best and then refine it from there. Very similarly, sizes. People say, okay, I'm going to take all of my small shirts and throw them into a campaign and bid on the word small shirts. Always boil it down a little bit. So this listing probably has like 200 variations with sizes. So I say, pull your business report, see what small shirts sell the best. Take the top 10 to 20 and start to bid on small keywords. Small shirts for men, small polo shirts for men. Same thing with XL shirts, right? Any keyword that has the word XL in it, but only bid on your best XL shirts. That's the only thing people want to see. And remember, you're just trying to get people to this listing. If they click on the XL of your best converting color, they're going to find this listing and then they say, oh, actually, you know what? I don't want the orange. I want the red instead. Doesn't matter. They got to this listing because you got them through that XL keyword, and now they can kind of make their choice. Another good thing here, if you are taking notes, another good really kind of golden nugget is the tool Samurai Seller. So there's plenty of things out there, but I just wanted to call out this one. And it's really great for grabbing variations, ASIN. So it's Samurai Seller. It's they have plenty of other tools in their suite, but I actually just use it for an ASIN scraper. So what you do is you come onto a listing like this, and it's going to be a little Google Chrome extension, and you can see a word right here, and it'll say copy ASIN. So you click it, and boom, now all of those child ASIN are in my clipboard. It's a super, super fast way to collect all ASIN. And then what you want to do, because what a lot of people do is they only click like the best seller and they forget all of the other ones. So this works twofold. Samurai Seller, you can use it to easily get all of your ASIN on your own page if you want. But what we use this for is competitor listings. So again, when a lot of people are bidding on competitor variation listings, they go in the main search results and they only bid on the best seller. They type in men's shirts and they're bidding on the ASIN that's ranking best for that keyword. You need to go into your competitor's listing and bid on all of their 90 ASIN. These are the campaigns that we absolutely crush. These take off like crazy because people never remember to do this. They grab a few ASIN and they move on to the next listing. So I want to hit these talking points home again because we deal with this daily, right? People are always asking about it. Small and big sellers are always asking about it. Only one variation will show up in ads. Don't cannibalize. If you are ranking for the word men's shirts, don't say, hey, I want to bid on men's shirts with my red XL shirt. No, you will mess yourself up. Your best seller will lose impressions. It will lose ranking. Then what you want to do, let the best seller do its work, separate and dominate. Okay. Separate and dominate. Separate your XLs, your other colors, your other flavors. Let them separate out on their own. Just wanted to bring it back to retail a little bit. And I found some like pictures of Doritos on the shelves. Again, I was hungry when I made this presentation. So Doritos, they have way more coverage of their bestseller. Then they have their second bestseller, and then they have some other ones down here on the bottom, because no one buys these. So I'm sure in retail shelves, the retail might say, hey, these ones on the bottom, they're honestly not selling. You know what you should do? You guys should give us more of your bestseller, because we're selling out of that. And maybe we can put your bestseller on a whole nother shelf and just get rid of these ones. That's what you need to think about it in Amazon. That top real estate of sponsored products, sponsored video, sponsored brand video, you don't want to use up that real estate for your best-selling keywords with slower sellers. All right. So now I just have one more slide here with how I want you to think about structuring out your campaigns. This is what we look at, because it is so easy to go crazy with variation campaigns. Manuals, bestseller, this should be most of your spend. If you're starting, if you're struggling, don't think about the other variations, think about your bestseller. Manuals, bestseller on its own. Exact match, boom, bid on your best keywords with own your bestseller. Videos, make a video with just your bestseller, bid on the best keywords. ASIN targeting, you want to make sure that when you're advertising your bestseller, it's on its own for the other competitors, right? So go after your other competitors just with your bestseller, give it its own budget, boom. Research manuals. This is what I would call, again, keywords that you want to rank for, but you're unsure yet. Keep the bestseller on its own. You're going to get the best data. Same thing for autos, 1 ASIN per. Okay. If you start now, I know catch-all autos can perform well. That's fine. You can keep those running, but your main autos, you should have 1 ASIN on its own. Now, once you block out the bestseller, that's your focus. Don't interfere with that. Don't outbid your bestseller with your other variations, right? What you want to do is group your other ASIN, right? So let's say red shirt. Put red shirt into its own manual. Bid on red keywords. Put another video of just the red shirt, but only bid on red keywords. If you make a red video and your bestseller video, you don't want the red shirt to cannibalize the bestseller. ASIN targeting, same thing. Only bid on red shirts, right? You see it. So just stay in your lane with your other variations. Let the bestseller shine. Don't cannibalize it. If stuff is working, don't try to tweak it. As PPC managers, we're always trying to adapt and change, but there is that point of no return where you can start to do too much. And then all of a sudden the bestseller is losing spend. Your whole listing is tanking because you got too granular with it. All right. So that is it from me. I hope there's some good questions, and I will let you guys jump back in here.
Thank you so much, Lucas. I would say it was basically like an ultimate guide how to advertise listings with variations. So thank you very much. And viewers, if you enjoyed what Lucas just explained to you, then definitely hit like to the video. And if you're new to the Orange Click YouTube channel, then definitely subscribe to our channel as well.
Yes, and this session is part of the virtual summit, which we call SellerFest Online. And during the session, we have 25 experts sharing different knowledge, just like Lucas did now. And we asked each of these presenters to provide additional what we call VIP video, which we collected all these 25 videos and packaged into a VIP package. And you're welcome to upgrade for a little investment. And what you are getting is 25 videos from all the speakers with different advanced strategies, going in depth from what they were explaining on the free videos. Sometimes they go in more depth about through the checklist you can apply in your business, or giving any other kind of strategies, like, for example, for your creatives on your product listing, and so on and so on. And let's see what Lucas prepared. Lucas, can you give us an overview what you are sharing in the video?
Yeah, so what I did for the VIP package, is we actually built out a template to make variation listings. So it's kind of, it's this last slide here much more in depth. So we gave you a bulk operations template in the new format. If you guys don't know, that whole bulk format just changed recently. So we basically laid it out where, say, if you have a listing of 3 variations, you can input your ASIN, your campaign name, your budget, your keywords right into that template and make it. And then I also gave much more specifics on kind of budgets and spend and bids and match types on when you're actually creating those campaigns.
Yeah, perfect. And the link to this VIP package you will find below in the description, or you can see it now on the screen. And now I think we're ready for some questions.
Yeah, let's go ahead and take a first question for you. So what ad strategy to use to launch a product with a couple of taste variations?
Yeah, so for launching is we want to keep it simple, right? So what you do, even when you're launching, say you don't know which one is going to sell. So let's say you have a couple variations and you don't know which one is going to be the best. You still want to separate them out, okay? So separate them out and keep the keyword list very short. So with launching now is people kind of get too carried away with all the words they're bidding on, right? So go in exact match and find keywords that you know you can rank for that are relevant to your product and spread the spend around to the variations. And very, very quickly, what you're looking for when you launch is click-through rate and conversion rate. So after a week or two, whatever variation is getting the highest click-through rate and the highest conversion rate on those keywords, that's the one you want to funnel spend into.
Okay, very good. So Tony says, cheers, excellent stuff. Can you recommend how many child ASINs are ideal for putting together? I have put the best spot together from our brand analytics data, and there are many different options.
Okay, yeah. So I think he's about like saying how many variations is too many variations. And what I would say there is it's different for every category. So that's why I wanted to show you guys the chips, the coffee, and the shirts example. So when you go into a listing like that chips example is a good example. There right now you can see all the variations. If they keep adding more, I think there's going to be a drop down bar that it's going to pop up on that page. You want to try to avoid that because we see a drop in conversion rate there. So think about it like you want as many options as possible, but you don't want to overwhelm the customer.
Very good. So another question for you. So when adding a new variation, do we get the new honeymoon period? Very interesting.
That is a really good question. And I am actually, I'm not 1,000% sure on that, but I think that the honeymoon period, again, say you're adding a new child into a parent ASIN, you don't get nearly as much of a honeymoon period as you do launching a whole new parent ASIN, right? Because we have seen that before as we have clients that they're like, they'll break off this child from this parent and move it to this parent. And there's not necessarily a honeymoon period. There's a bit of a spike, but it's not quite the honeymoon period you get when you launch a new parent.
Okay, good. So before taking another question, I wanted to show that Rihan says, hi, Lucas, big fan, been watching since last 3 years. So you have longtime friends and fans here. All right, so another one. So if I set up ads for variations and use the same keywords for each variation with the same bids, are these campaigns competing with each other?
So Amazon would tell you they're not, right? And it's known you can't compete against yourself in your own campaigns. But think about that, right? If you have a men's shirt and you're using 5 of your ASINs to bid on that men's shirt, there's only going to be one that's always going to convert better. So it's not that it's going to compete, but you're not utilizing your spend the best way. So instead of even spending on those other ones, because they might show up maybe on different placements on the page, But it's always smarter for your higher volume keywords to just bid on the ones that convert best. Because what happens is you will bid on men's shirt for, say, again, an XL red shirt. So that happens accidentally. And then the click-through rate for that is lower. The conversion rate for that is lower. So the whole listing will lose traction because you're advertising a slow seller instead of your best seller. So always on the biggest keywords, push the best variation you can.
Thank you. We have another question from the audience. By the way, Mohammed says, thank you, Lucas. He's happy with your answers.
Great.
Ed Kim says, how to determine budget for each campaign?
Yeah. So that is one thing. I do dive a little deeper on that in the VIP package. And I think about it, honestly, most of the times you can think about it 80-20. And I can even say this, that what I want you to do right now is maybe pull spend for your variation listings and say, okay, how much spend is each variation spending? If your tacos is way too high, I guarantee you're spending too much on your slow sellers. So this is what we've been doing recently with a lot of clients with a lot of variations, is they were spending on every variation and tacos was high. We cut spend to their red shirts, their XL shirts. They're spending, sure, a few percent of their total spend, but their best seller is making up almost 80% of all spend because it gets people on that page. And then once they're on that page, they can make the decision on what shirt they want to buy.
How Amazon displays a sale in the campaign manager if buyer comes to the listing from the ad of black variation, but ends up buying the red product?
Yeah. So that's going to take a little bit of research on your part, and that's the attribution part. So you can pull a advertised product report, and you can say, it'll give you the spend and sales for an advertised product or search term report, and then it'll say, sales related to this ASIN. And that, in theory, is when you have a parent ASIN, it'll say, okay, well, this person clicked on this ad and bought this ASIN. But there's another column that says this person clicked on this ad, but bought another ASIN. So that was kind of the example, what I started off with saying is like, you're really just more interested in getting people to that page. And the number you should care about is sales in total on that parent listing.
Okay, thank you. So Mohammed has another question. Hi, Lucas. There are little details on visual and non-visual variation themes and the impact of each on conversions.
So can you repeat that one?
So I think he has a question that there is little details on visuals and non-visual variation themes and the impact of each on conversion. So perhaps you can comment how those different variation themes impact conversion rates.
Got it. Right. So I don't have any hard data there, but I know, and I know some other guys have done some studies there. But again, that's that point of no return. And think about it. Like and I know some people, they go crazy with variations. Like if you have, this was funny. I just made a YouTube video the other day of a cheese knife, and it was cheese knives. But then they also, in this cheese knife listing, they had like 40 variations of like spoons and forks and cutting boards. And it was so overwhelming. So it's a very, very granular test to run. And if you're a smaller seller, you're not going to have enough data to get there for quite a while. So the guys that are answering these questions saying, hey, if I add one more variation, what's going to happen? They're doing hundreds of thousands of dollars a month on one listing. And they can say, okay, this one hurt it. Let's take it off. Or this one helped it. If you're a small seller, I'm going to tell you more variations is probably the way to go until you hit, a bigger sales number. Okay,
great insights. So Phil has also a question for you. So I have campaigns for each keyword group, main keywords, best keywords, low volume keywords, and put all variations in each. So you're saying only best-selling variations in main keyword campaign and remove from other campaigns.
Yeah. So what I want to say there is never make drastic changes. Okay. So if you're testing something, okay, if you have 3 campaigns with all variations, what I want you to do is go through your campaign that's spending the most, pause a couple variations to start. Okay. Don't pause them all like crazy. If your numbers are healthy and you want to get them even better, don't go crazy with drastic changes. Okay. So pause a few, see how your tacos performs. Because again, what we see, and I can tell you, we've done this with probably about 5 clients in the past month. We've gone in and we've paused a lot of their slow variations that are spending, and they're spending 0 right now. Their tacos improved so much. Now, their ACOS on their best seller actually went up because it's spending more. And I can tell you their best seller is at about break even right now. But their best seller is getting people in the door. So their best seller is not making money, but it's making money for the rest of the listing. So try that. Pause some variations, maybe keep your top 5 running, see what that does after a week or 2 weeks. Then after that, maybe pause a couple more. If it keeps getting better, pause that until you have that bestseller on its own in that one campaign. And then if you want, you can make a new campaign with all of the other ones that were in there originally.
Okay, thank you so much. I definitely think it answered Phil's question.
Great.
Thanks. And yeah, thanks a lot, Lucas, for your insights. I think this topic about product variations we don't touch very often.
Yeah.
And can you one more time mention how you help Amazon sellers and where can they find you?
Yeah. So we are a hands-on PPC agency. We are a team of PPC experts that all came under one roof. So PPC is all that we do. We're very passionate about it. I can say that I'm happy to find other guys that love PPC just as much as I do on my team. So the biggest way to find me, if you enjoyed this, then find me on YouTube. So just you can type in advanced Amazon PPC. You can type in Lucas Kwiatkowski, and we're posting videos once a week right now, diving into stuff like this to help out smaller sellers. And you can also reach out to me personally anytime, lucas@nomads.com.
Yeah, I believe we don't have a link, the email address, but we have the link to your website below in the description.
Great.
And that's great. Yeah. Thanks a lot, Lucas and Lisette. Bye-bye.
Awesome. All right. Thank you, guys.
Bye. And now I would like to invite you to watch other video with Lucas, where he shares smart and efficient spending strategies for Amazon PPC.